My name is Katherine Hegewisch, and I'm a postdoc fellow in the Department of Geography here at the University of Idaho. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about the decision support tools that the REACCH project has developed in the last years. And first, to frame the work for our team, we were motivated in creating decision support tools as part of REACCH due to the data sets that REACCH produced related to past and future climates and also pests, and also the research that REACCH produced related to crops, pests, weeds, and their relationships to climate. And we thought that web tools could really make the REACCH datasets and research more accessible for decision making long after the project ended. So the tools developed were done by a couple of different teams. The 5 teams that I consider having big contributions to this project, or to different tools in the set. First, the Biz Logic team, led by Clark Sievert at the Oregon State University Extension. Second, the climate team, led by John Abatsoglu in the University of Idaho Geography Department, and he has students including myself. The pest team, led by Stanford Eigenbrot and Edward Baczynski at the University of Idaho Entomology. The climate engine team, led by Justin Huntington from the Desert Research Institute and also John Abatsoglu at University of Idaho. And then finally, the data management team from the Northwest Knowledge Network. And I include some different people in here, Stephen Fricke and Eric. They're not technically NCAN, but they're part of the data management team. And these people have just provided us a lot of support, both from the web portion or from the data management or for all the different little things that can go wrong. And so I wanted to acknowledge them as being part of this. So our groups are impacting decision-making with the tools and websites that we created during REACCH, ranging from crop decision and pest management tools, in creating informational pages on pests, decision support calculators, graphical tools and mapping tools, climate and weather tools that visualize real-time weather data, seasonal forecasts, and future climate projections. Some finance tools, such as those from Biz Logic, and then also remote sensing tools through Climate Engine that allows visualization of changes in the vegetation over the landscape. So these are images from the different sets of tools, but they're not all inclusive, so there are a lot of other tools that are in each of these little categories. But I just wanted to give you a better sense of what we've done, and I'm going to look at 3 of our tools just a little bit in more depth, so you can zoom in on one of these tools and see what they do. So first of all, we have the Biz Logic tool suite of tools from Oregon State. And this is a suite of tools that enables producers to assess the profitability and environmental trade-offs in their decisions. And there's a tool looking at profit and the environment, leasing options, financing options, and climate also. And these tools use climate data, farm-scale data, and environmental data. And here we see the AgBiz Climate tool, which estimates the returns on different cropping systems, these different cropping systems here, both historically, which is the yellow, and then also looking at climate change projections. And so that's an example of one of the kinds of tools that Biz Logic provides. Second, we have a cold hardiness zone tool developed at the University of Idaho. And this tool utilizes 2 REACCH data sets, the historical observations and also the future climate projections. And in this tool, we're showing cold hardiness zones, the USDA cold hardiness zones for the current day. So a map of the current day cold hardiness zones on the left, and then future projections for mid-21st century here on the right. And then we have a marker that you can put anywhere over the contiguous USA and see what that cold hardiness zone is from the map. So here it's showing that I have it on Moscow, and that the current day cold hardiness zone is 7A from this data set. And then for Moscow by mid-century, it advances to the warmer 8A. And then this is also a crop suitability tool here in that Right here, you can choose from a drop down of a bunch of different kinds of crops. I have some cereal crops in here, and then also fruit and nut trees and some other things too. And so, for example, I've picked oats here, and basically this tool then is displaying the favorable zones for this crop on the map. And so this is basically if we consider favorable just according to cold hardiness zones. So this is the area in which oats could be grown current day based just on cold hardiness zones. And then by mid-century, from the future projections, this is where the expanse of oats could shift. And so we see a shift northward in the cold hardiness zones, and more of the USA can grow oats in the future than now. This is what the punchline from this tool then is. And third, we have a growing degree day tool that I'm just going to look at here. And this uses a REACH data set climate observations that are current up to 1 day lag. And this tool is powered by Climate Engine, which is another tool that provides the functions for doing these things. In this tool, a user can pick from a preset of some different crops, weeds, pests, which I don't have too many in there right now, but you can also just enter a custom growing degree day model by setting the start date and the base temperature threshold. And the tool then shows a map of the current cumulative growing degree days with that model here on the left. And then if you pick a point location, you can get a graph of the cumulative growing degree days over the season, which is between these two lines is the observed data. And then tacked on to that is 7 months of seasonal forecast data, so you can kind of see where we're projected to go with this tool. And right now this tool just visualizes the growing degree day models, but we anticipate using it for some more specific crop pest guidance as we go forward. So one other aspect of these decision support tools that we spent some effort on was getting feedback from different groups and incorporating that feedback into the improvement of the tools and in defining the future direction for development of new tools. And so we did some tool demonstrations at workshops and conferences. We did some focus groups with wheat and pea growers. And then we also did some user testing with some student clubs at the University of Idaho. And then in speaking to future directions of this tool development, just speaking for University of Idaho, we're headed in kind of two different ways. One is that the tools that we've developed so far are going to find a new home in the Northwest Climate Toolbox, which is led by John Abotsoglu and is a CIRC project, which is the Climate Impacts Research Consortium, which is a NOAA RESA project. And we'll continue to develop more climate and weather tools to incorporate into this that will help decision-making in areas of fire, water, agriculture, and also just basic looking at climate. And then the other portion is to develop some more specific crop and pest tools, probably using growing degree day models, and this is a project led by Ed Paczynski. And so that's our future direction, and that's all. Okay.